It's trial time once again! And for those who may have forgotten, allow me to give you a brief explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you will present your arguments and debate amongst yourself on who you think the blackened is of this case, and who killed your fellow co-worker of the Hope Cultivation Center. Once you figured out who killed the victim, you will put your decision to a vote. If the majority vote is correct in your decision, then only the blackened will receive punishment, and the rest of you will continue your work days here at the Hope Cultivation Center. However, if you guess the wrong person, then everyone else will be punished, and the blackened will be able to walk free. And that's the basic explanation of the class trial once again. Oh, and by the way, I hope you like the new edition of the portraits. I worked really hard on them, so I hope you can like them.
You're a sick bear, you know that?
So I've been told. Interesting. I thought there were going to be X's on the portraits. Why are there random symbols and numbers? Well, I wanted to be a little creative. So, for the ultimate magician, I just put a bunny. And as for Shiro, I don't know. I just jammed ones and zeros on the keyboard until I printed it out. Wow, so creative.
Are we really doing this right now? We're wasting precious time in the trial. I want to get out of here.
Though it pains me, had kids right. I don't want to stay here any longer.
Yeah, we have to find out who murdered Shiro.
Throw them a welcome party.
What?
Nothing.
You know, honestly though, do we really have to punish Shiro's killer? How can you say that? Murder is still murder!
I know, but, I mean,
they killed Shiro of all people. Shiro! Do you know how much pain she caused us in the last trial?
No, she was just annoying.
Enough wasting time, everyone. We have to start our discussions, or else, well, I don't know what will happen.
I get bored, then I'll just end the trial. But I'm not bored right now. Some nice drama is always a good thing to do before the start of the trial. So keep arguing.
But guys, in all seriousness, Zelda is right. We do need to start the trial. And we do have to unfortunately solve Shiro's murder. And I know all of us here weren't that fond of Shiro, but even as someone as nasty and mean as her, she didn't deserve to die, figuratively or literally. I know you're right. I'm still not over what she said about Waddle Doo and what happened back then.
Get that, and I can't forgive her for that, but people have reason.
Can you guys at least try to behave and hold your grudge on Shiro until after the trial? Alright, fine. Alright, we'll help any way we can.
Great! We can finally start the trial!
Monokuma, I think we're ready.
Boo! Alright then! Then let our second class trial of the Hope Cultivation killing game commence!
Alright everyone, our second class trial has begun. We have to now figure out who murdered Shiro. Where do we start this time? Do we start with the same thing as we did Walladu's trial?
What was the first thing we started with in Walladu's trial? I forgot. It's been a long time.
Dude, it's been like 5 days.
It's best if we don't repeat the same beats as we did with Waddle-Doo's trial. After all, there are some things different from the last trial than this one.
Like what?
Well, the first notable thing is the cause of death.
Mr. Viss is right. Unlike the last trial, the cause of death was actually listed.
That dinosaur suffered blood force trauma to the back of the head. That was a cause of death, right?
Indeed, but there are also a few things that are left unknown in this Monokuma fight like the last one. Why can't you just make things simple, you dumb bear? Because then the trial would only be like a minute long, and we need to plan this out for runtime!
What were the things left unknown in the Monokuma file this time?
If I'm not mistaken,
The time of death was unlisted this time.
the time of death, that's a bit weird.
Whether it's weird or not, I don't think we should start with that now. If we dive into an unknown topic now, we might just end up running around in circles and wasting time.
Spoken like a true ultimate detective. However, I do agree. I think to avoid what happened last time and us spending too much time on useless topics, we should clear up things we do know about the case first and then backtrack to the stuff we don't know.
Excellent idea. That way, the truth can be revealed. One way or another. We have to survive this trial.
And figure out who killed Shiro.
Rightio, so the time of death we can discuss later. So what should we discuss first?
Well, we can rule out the cause of death since we already know what happened. She got bashed in the back of the head by something.
Wait, but do we know what killed her? One? No, I mean the weapon. What weapon killed Shiro?
Huh, I guess that is something we need to figure out.
There's also something I'd like to know. Why the hell was her body in the kitchen? Seems like a weird place to kill someone.
Also a pretty stupid place. Assuming she got invited to there or something, there would have been tons of weapons for the killer to like attack her or something. So I guess those are our first points of discussion. What's the murder weapon and why Shiro was in the kitchen? Alright. I think we should discuss the murder weapon first. That way we can figure out the rest of it later.
Great idea! Let's start a discussion!
Alright. The murder weapon. It could be obvious at a glance, but I don't think it is. But for now, let's just get on with this.
So, Shiro's cause of death was blunt force trauma to the back of her head.
Yes, but we need to figure out what the weapon was that ultimately killed her. Wait, I remember during the investigation, Mischievous said she might have found something along those lines.
Yeah, I remember too. What did you find? Oh, well, I'd be happy to tell you. I do believe this might be the murder weapon. I found a bloody hammer in the second floor's public bathroom. That must be the murder weapon.
No, that's wrong! Hold on, Mischievous. I actually don't think the hammer can be the murder weapon.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yes, a hammer does fit the specification of a weapon that could easily kill her from the back. But what do you mean by that, Chris? Luigi can back me up on this. There was something weird about the hammer, right, Luigi?
Yes, I think what Chris is trying to imply is that although there was blood on the hammer, it wasn't bloody.
You're confusing me.
What I'm saying is there was a small amount of blood on the hammer, but where it was weird.
Where was the blood?
It was on the handle, not the actual hammer.
The handle? Wait, isn't the thing the handle? No, like where you hold the hammer. Oh, wait, why would there be blood on that? Wait a minute, then it's simple. The culprit just used either the bathroom sink or the tub to wash off the blood.
I doubt it. There was barely any blood in the tub, and there was no blood in the sink. But the sink was a bit wet, so it must have been used for something. We just don't know what yet.
And also, as the person who did the autopsy report, I guess I should say that the wound on her head was a lot more weirder. It was more long than what a hammer would look like if indented in the head.
So wait, then the hammer's not the murder weapon. But wait, but what was it used for?
I don't know. The hammer had blood on it, which means it had to have been used for something in the crime. We just don't know what yet. But I don't think it's the murder weapon. If so, it would have a lot more blood on it. Mischievous?
I'm sorry to say, but that cannot be true. I still do believe the hammer could be the murder weapon, or at least have been used to do something to Shiro.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but this story is too enticing to ignore, so I must fight you, Chris. I'm so sorry. Oh, I must do this. That hammer was the only weapon we found that could be used as a murder weapon with blood on it. That means that it must be the murder weapon.
But the weird patches of blood around it instead of on it were still weird. It's like it wasn't even used to bash Shiro's head in. And what makes you think the hammer was even used in any way to hurt Shiro?
The Monokuma file says that she had fractured bones. If not used to kill her, then maybe it was used to at least attack her.
Then that would still leave a lot of blood on the hammer. Plus, then wouldn't that leave a blood trail? If she was attacked in the kitchen?
I guess you're right, but the killer could have easily cleaned it up. And plus, we have no proof that there was anything else other than the hammer that had blood on it.
Allow me to cut through those words.
I'm sorry, Mischievous, but there was one other thing near where we found the hammer that had blood on it. It was the table.
Yes, the blood. There was blood on the table, but there was also blood in the vent. How does it have anything to do with the murder weapon?
Oh, I got it! They picked up the table and swung it at her!
That is too unrealistic. Chris, what are you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that Shiro must have been on the second floor when she was murdered, and she was near the vent. That can not only explain why the table was dented, but why there was blood near the vent. That's where she was killed. Her head was bashed into the table.
That would explain why the table was dented, because a body slammed into it.
I guess so, but that still doesn't prove one of my points. Her bones are broken. The hammer could have been used for that. Actually, recall Callie's testimony for when she found the body. She said that Shiro's body fell out of the cabinet. That was a decent height. And for my autopsy, I think that's where her other bones were broken, including the fracture on her head.
You mean the one in the front?
Yes.
But I have a feeling the hammer was used for something. My mystery senses are tingling.
Girl, you sensing some weird shit, I'm telling you right now.
Well, anyway, the hammer aside, I actually do agree. I think that maybe the table was used to kill her.
But then that raises the question, why was Shiro on the second floor? And not to be causing more conflict, but is there even any proof that Shiro was on the second floor at the time? Actually, there is. I got it! Actually, someone did see Shiro walk up to the second floor at some point. Those two were Taranza and Pea Shooter.
What? You saw Shiro go up to the second floor?
Yes, we did. It was a little after the party started. We were on our patrol and we're about to head out for the day and just relax in our dorm rooms. When we saw her going up to the second floor holding something. We didn't get a good glance at what, but we decided to ignore her and think that wasn't really that much worth our time.
And when was all this?
I'd say about 20 minutes after the party started, 25, so around 12:25.
Interesting. This also can help us narrow down her time of death as well, since that's also unknown. Oh yeah, when was her body found?
Her body was found at 1:02 p.m. So that must mean she had to have died between that time and her time of death.
Actually, I think the blood was very recent too. It was still wet, so she must have died very recently.
Yeah, that's my royal guard for you. You guys did all great, everyone.
Yeah. So we figured out the weapon was the table and that Shiro went up to the second floor for some reason. But why? And furthermore, the hammer. I didn't know anything about this hammer. Where was it? Oh, it was in the storage room on the first floor.
Me, Ray, Pachirisu, Chris, and Mighty all found it on the first day. The new rooms were unlocked. In fact, that's kind of why Ray kind of busted his leg.
The fact is, we hit the hammer, which means someone found it.
Wait, who knew about the hidden hammer?
Everyone who's in the room. That means it has to be one of you guys who's the killer.
What? We're not the killer.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
Then explain how the hammer is near the crime scene.
What are you getting at, little girl?
What I'm trying to say is, yeah, the hammer might have not been used as the murder weapon, but I actually agree with the creepy psycho over here.
I'm not a psycho. I just like horror things.
The hammer was used for something, and the fact that it's wet and has blood on it, yeah, that's a little suspicious.
Unfortunately, she's right. Unless there's some evidence that proves someone else could have known where it was, then I think we have to go down that line of logic.
Okay, calm down, Chris. You know there was some other way someone could have seen or heard where the hammer was. You're just gotta prove it. So if I'm getting this right, very few people knew where the hammer actually was. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, you are right. Only the few of us that found it knew, but we're not the killer.
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. Maybe someone else could have figured out where the hammer was?
I agree with that.
I agree with Pea Shooter. There was actually a way someone could have overheard. When we were discussing where to put the hammer and when we found it, the door was unlocked and open. So it's not that unheard of this thing. Someone could have overheard or saw us put the hammer on the first day.
Yes, it's not really illegal to eavesdrop, especially in this place where Monokuma will probably allow it.
Woohoo! I'll take that as a compliment. So that opens up tons of possibilities, not just the 5 who knew where the hammer was.
I guess you're right, but it doesn't rule them out either. We're not trying to rule ourselves out. We're just saying we didn't do it. But we're also saying that we're not the only ones who could have done it.
Alright then. What's next?
Well, we talked about the weapon. We talked about who could have done the hammer, but that really didn't lead us out anywhere. And we've at least narrowed down our time of death a bit, which is something we weren't even aiming for. At least not right now, anyways.
But we made some progress. That's a good sign. I know we can do this.
What is it? I just have a feeling that we should be talking about something important. Like, why did Shiro go up to the second floor at that time?
I don't know why. Let's not question what Shiro does.
I think we should question it. Even though she's the victim, it's still suspicious how she was alone on the second floor and then suddenly ended up dead. Well, how about we change topics? How she got her head on the table?
She probably just got into a fight with the killer. I don't know if you know this, but Shiro isn't the type of girl to just sit down and face defeat. I see her as the type of girl to square up and fight back.
Yeah, I can see that too.
So then how about how she ended up in the cabinet? I'm still a little scarred from when she just fell out.
Speaking of which, why the hell did you open the cabinet at that time, Callie? And after we were all drugged, you just ran out and went to the kitchen.
What the hell? You all were drugged?
Oh yes, I suppose we didn't really inform you about what happened at the party. We were all gassed and knocked out. It was kind of an event. We woke up a little before Callie found the body.
I feel so stupid. I could have helped. I didn't.
It's okay. We're just glad you guys weren't hurt. Thanks.
Wait, maybe the gassing has something to do with the murder case.
It's most likely, but for now, let's stay on topic. Why did Shiro get moved?
It seems like her murder took place on the second floor, but I don't understand why the body would have to be moved.
Zelda's right. I mean, it's not like any of us would not see the body anyway. They were obviously trying to kill someone, so they obviously wanted to get out of here, so they need to have a class trial. In order to have a class trial, we need to find the body.
It's almost like they were trying to hide it.
There would be no reason for that, right?
I mean, unless there's some unspoken rule like, oh, if you had a body for 24 hours, somehow, oh, you can just leave. Wait, that's not a motive, right?
Oh, no, totally not taking notes for future killing games. That's my idea. But no, there's no rule about hiding a body. I mean, unless you want to confuse people, then there's no actual killing game benefit to it. So then why? It's not like any of the crime scene on the second floor was cleaned out to begin with.
Callie, you genius.
Wait, what did I do?
You just made me realize something. Why was all that evidence left on the second floor?
What do you mean?
It's so weird. Why would all that evidence be on the second floor? The killer had drugged all of us, or at least might have drugged all of us, and had made us all knocked out in the party room. They drugged us somehow, of course. And the 4 other people assumably were in their dorm rooms, out of sight. Which means that the killer would have ample time to clean up. But even so, they left the hammer in a place anyone could see during the investigation. Left multiple bloodstains on where they killed Shiro, well, presumably, and just left a bunch of other evidence behind. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what it means yet, but I need to think. Thank you for helping me realize this, Callie.
Thanks. What did I do?
You might have helped yourself a little bit in this case.
I did? Yay!
I guess this is a topic we'll have to come up to again at some point. We are just jumping all over the place in this trial, aren't we?
So, can you answer that question yet?
It doesn't seem like it. We don't have enough clues or reason why the killer would do that. But I do have something to say. Where's the mighty Callie? How did you know that there was blood out of the cabinet? What compelled you to open it right after we just all got knocked out? You didn't answer that question.
I felt woozy and I just wanted to get some water. And then I saw blood leaking out of the cabinet and then I screamed.
I can back this up. There's no way, Cat. That's what I saw.
Yeah, but it's still kind of suspicious, Callie. You were the one that organized that party, though. Who's to say you weren't the one behind us getting drugged?
What? I would never do that. I'm not the killer.
He never said you were. He said you were the person who drugged all of them.
Who's to say the killer and that person are one and the same?
Listen, guys, I didn't do it. I decided to host a party to try to not convince us to kill each other.
Callie's right. She would not do such a thing. All of you, stop it.
I want to believe her, but I don't know. Is there a way to prove her innocent?
Actually, it could be. Wait, that's it. I know what.
It's all coming together.
The body discovery announcement. Callie was one of the people to trigger it, which means she's not the killer.
Yeah, and Papyrus triggered it too, if I'm not mistaken, so that means he's automatically safe as well.
See, I told you I'm not the killer!
What is it, Mighty? That proves her innocence, right? Yeah, I guess it does. I just need to think for a minute.
Wait, that's how it went?
What is it, Luigi? You're not doubting Callie. No, I just need also a minute to think. Just give me a minute.
So I guess that clears the squid and the skeleton of being the culprit outright then.
So I guess we can just take what Callie's saying is the truth. She just happened upon it, and after she got drugged, she felt woozy and went to the kitchen to get some water.
What's any doubt in your mind that I was lying?
Maybe a little.
Callie's random reasoning aside, we now know that both her and Papyrus are innocent. But who else can we really confirm as being innocent?
Yes, and furthermore, does the drugging at the party have anything to do with the actual murder case? And who was the one who did said drugging?
This is a real mystery, if I do say so myself.
Hey, wait a minute, guys. I think I have an idea of how we can narrow down suspects.
Huh? You do, Ray? How?
Well, when did Taranza see Shiro?
Me and Pichu started going up to the second floor around after the party started, like 25 minutes after.
That was around the time we all got drugged, which means anyone in the party can't be the culprit. That's actually a good point. According to you guys said that you were drugged until you found the body, which, if that means correctly, that means that the killer can't be any of you, which would mean that the killer is someone who wasn't at the party.
We can list me and P shooter off. I mean, we didn't like Shiro, but we have solid alibis for each other. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make sense for us to be the killer.
As if there was any doubt in my mind. Yes! Which means the blame shifts to the only other two people who weren't at the party. Hat Kid and Tom Nook.
Now hold on a minute. You're saying that the killer got into some sort of fight with Shiro. I remember that during an earlier part of the discussion. But look at me. You really think I could win in a fight and not get bruised or something? And if you're so confident, me like, oh yes you could, check me for bruises. I don't mind being stripped.
No need, and TMI, good sir.
So the killer's Hat Kid?
Excuse you? Why would I murder her? There's no fucking motive behind it. Before you say, oh, it could have been the files, I didn't even get her damn file. So I don't even know anything about this bitch.
Wait, then that means all possible suspects don't have a motive, or couldn't have done it.
Wait, he's right. No one at the party could have done it because we were all drugged. And no one at... It can't be Taranza or Pichu because they have an alibi for each other. Tom Nook just allowed us to search him, which I don't really think we should do, but so that means he's not the culprit. And Hackett doesn't have a motive.
This is seriously confusing. Who could the killer be? When everyone here almost has a solid alibi.
Not everyone here has an alibi. I think someone's lying.
You think someone's lying?
And where's your proof of that? All of us have stories to back us up. There's no other proof that anyone else has something to do with this case, or anything fishy about this case. It seems like a simple murder plan, except we don't know who could have done it.
Wait a minute. That thing that's been bugging me. I think I found out what it was.
Huh? What is it, Luigi?
Let's go.
Oh, Luigi.
What is it?
Chris, there's something we overlooked. It honestly is quite the obvious mistake. Just follow my logic. It's a simple thing we can point out. And maybe it'll help us find out who the killer is.
Alright, I'm open for anything. Go for it, Luigi.
Let me go over what happened after we were all woke up from being drugged. Hallie left to go to the kitchen, and then Papyrus followed soon after her. Hallie opened the cabinet, and Shiro's body fell out. After which, she saw the body, and then Papyrus saw it. And then the body discovery announcement played. Once you realize there's the mistake in all that logic, you'll figure out what's wrong.
I agree with that.
Wait a minute, guys. There's something really strange about this case.
See, I told you.
Seems like someone else finally noticed it.
Huh? What is it, Mighty?
I'll let Chris explain. Seems like Mighty's noticed it too.
What is it?
Papyrus, after you saw the body, the announcement played, right?
Yes. What of it?
And I think someone else is involved in this case. I don't know if they're the killer or not, but nor do I know who it is yet, but I think someone is at least hiding something. I'm not following.
Wait, only Callie and Papyrus saw the body? Wait, I thought the body discovery announcement was also only go off when
3 people saw the body. Right.
But wait a minute. Then that would make Papyrus the second person to find the body.
Yes, that's correct. But clearly it's not. Papyrus was the 3rd. And although we might have... The one we got wrong was Callie. She was in truth the 2nd person to find the body. Wait, so that must mean someone before any of us. Maybe, I don't know if they're the killer or not. I don't know if the rules apply in a certain scenario. But someone else found the body and is currently hiding it.
Why would they do that? I mean, it's possible that they're not the killer, but even so, why would they do that? I agree with Pachirisu. Even if you take that into account, who could it have even been? Like we said, everyone at the party was knocked out, everyone else has a solid alibi, it doesn't make sense.
No. God. I think I know why. I think it's time we need to discuss that.
So let me get this straight. Everyone at the party has a solid alibi, right?
Yes, everyone there was at the party when we woke up, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, that's true.
Exactly. And no one left during the gassing either because every one of us was knocked out.
Actually, Callie, I might have evidence that disproves that.
Huh?
Actually, before I got knocked out, I thought I saw a shadowy figure run across the room and exit the room.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I didn't make out who it was, but it was just a shadowy figure. Regardless or not, it was after the gas had settled, which means someone avoided getting gassed. Wouldn't that just be Papyrus? The dude doesn't even have nostrils.
What? But I sense things too. I can smell skeletons of right-hand kid.
That doesn't even make... Okay, but still, even, I don't think it's Papyrus. Papyrus was next to me during near me during the party, and the person I saw run was in front of me.
And even so, Papyrus found the body, and the one that triggered the body discovery announcement. I do not think that it is him.
Well, what the fucking do? Wait, how the hell did they even not get gassed? I don't know yet, but maybe once we figure out who it was, we can narrow it down more. You don't need to, because I already know who it is.
What? Mighty, you do?
Well, who is it?
Everyone, I want you to take a look at this. This is a map showing everyone's location during the party.
I think you misspelled some things.
The spelling doesn't matter. What matters is you can at least tell who is who. And, with the process of elimination, you can tell who is who and where they were.
Alright, I haven't been in the party room, so, that much. So, someone else has to.
Allow me. Callie and Luigi were by the door, near that big boxy thing near the vent. Chris was off to the side, a little bit further, with Papyrus right across from him with Mischievous, and right next to Papyrus. I myself was next to Pachirisu. Pachirisu was right across from Zelda, who was also next to the bed. With that, Chris, can you figure out who did it? Still no. Well, maybe I should scare this person a bit. I had a suspicion of you since the beginning.
What? How?
I can't believe none of you guys noticed, but this person wasn't with us when they woke up.
Wait, what? Someone was missing when we woke up?
I can't entirely blame you all. We all got drugged, so I don't really blame anyone for not noticing. However, count how many people are here. There were 9 people when the party started. When we all woke up and went to run to the body, I counted everyone leaving the room. However, including myself, the sum totaled to 8 people.
Wait, that means someone was outside of the room when the body was discovered?
How'd you guys not know?
We were drugged.
Oh.
But still, that would be pretty obvious. And even so, how could they have avoided the gas?
Wait, Mighty, can I see the locations of everyone again? Sure, right here. Judging from where I was, from where I saw the shadowy figure run, and who I still saw, how many people out of my sight would have been? I know who it is.
You do? Then tell us! Who is it? Who could have done this?
Just to be clear, I don't know if this person's the killer or not yet, but we still have a lot to answer. Person who I must have saw running out of the room and must have avoided the gas. It had to have been It had to be you. The jig is up. The shadowy person I saw was you. Zelda, the ultimate archer.
What? Zelda?
Wait, it was Zelda? Chris, it wasn't me. What made you think you were right across from my vision? You know, seeing where everyone else's location was, it had to have been you. It can't be Mighty, because he was still in my line of sight. And Patricio is a likely option, but you were next to the bed, which conveniently had blankets on it. Once you have seen the gas come in, you could have easily put your face in it to avoid the effects for a while. And once the gas cleared, you could have easily have sneaken out.
That makes some sort of sense, but wait, why would she do this?
Wait, does that mean she's the killer? I don't know yet. I don't want to believe it, but Zelda, all of this does seem to make it seem like you're suspicious. Furthermore, you have been decently quiet throughout the most of this trial. Like, you're being defensive. Chris, there's a reason why I'm being silent. I'm trying to preserve the feelings of someone. But, I'm telling you right now, just drop this. It has nothing to do with the overall case. I'm not the killer. I don't think we should drop the topic. Seeming how you even arrived after the people who were still in their rooms after the body discovery announcement. This proves even more that you were out of the room.
He did?
Yep. I even stayed back and saw her leave her room.
Wait, and you just now told us this?
We need to be sneaky. Catch her in a trap. Now we've caught her in a lie.
Zelda, no, this isn't right. You're not really the killer, right?
Furthermore, I caught her in even more of a lie. She hid something in her autopsy report. She what? Something I noticed. Her fractured bones were probably from her falling from the cabinet, because it was decent height, as we already explained. However, her front fractured wounds. It was 2 fractured wounds in her front. If that first one was made by her falling out of the cabinet, the second one must have also been made by falling out of the cabinet.
Which means she fell out of the cabinet twice.
But Zelda, who did decently well in the last autopsy report, should have at least known that if she figured out what one of the fractures was. She hid it.
So we caught her with even more evidence. She's been lying. I bet she's the killer.
Zelda, please. This evidence just keeps piling up against you. We don't want to believe you're the killer. Alright, fine. I do not have... Forget this. I'll tell you everything. But I warned you. You're not gonna like what I'm about to tell you. Or maybe you will. I don't know.
What is it?
It's just as you said. Everything played out as you said. I, for one, was not affected by the gas. Once I saw it coming out, I immediately dove towards the blanket and covered my mouth until the gas settled. But I didn't leave for any crime-related reasons, or murder. I originally was going to go to the chemistry lab on the 2nd floor, so I can get some supplements for you all, to try to wake you up.
That makes sense.
However, before I could go, I heard something from the kitchen. I didn't know what it was at the time. I was too worried about everyone else. But that's when I saw it. There was blood dripping out of the cabinet. And when I went to open it, Shiro's body came out.